Welcome to the graveyard. Hi y'all, I'm sugar and cake artist Shelby Bauer, and this is the Sugar Scoop. Today we have lots of great treats for you guys. We are going to make a tombstone and grave cake, a coffin cake, creepy fence cookies, a zombie rice cereal treat hand, and a scary licorice tree table centerpiece. I'm going to link the templates that I used as well as some products that I used in the description below. Let's get spooky. First, let's start with our tombstone and grave cake. I baked a 14-inch chocolate cake and cut the cake in half to make my grave. I used smaller rectangles of cake and stacked them to make my tombstone. I filled and frosted both layers of cake with a dark gray buttercream. To make the gray color, I started with the chocolate buttercream and added a little bit of black food coloring. And then I gave it a crumb coat and let it chill in the refrigerator. This made it a little bit harder so that I could carve it easily. So I used my template to carve out the shape of the tombstone, and then I frosted it one more time. To cover the tombstones, I have 3 shades of gray fondant. I marbled these by mixing them together, then rolling them out with my fondant roller. I cut out the basic shape of the tombstone using my template, then I tore the pieces of fondant in sections to create a broken stone look. I also used some foil to give the fondant an uneven texture. Then I pieced the fondant back together onto the cake, gluing with a little bit of water. To make our ornate cross, I used the cross template and cut out the shape from a thick layer of black fondant. Can't you just imagine walking through a creepy graveyard at night and then a yummy edible ghost pops out and you can eat it? Then using some ornate molds, I decorated the face of the cross, gluing with water. I let this dry overnight so that it was easier to place onto the tombstone. I brought out the ornateness of the cross using a dry dusting method with a little bit of light blue edible dust. To make the tombstone look more realistic, I emphasized the cracks and shadowed areas with black airbrushing. I then used white food paint, linked below, to paint the surface of the stone. I attached the cross to the tombstone using royal icing and toothpicks to hold it, and then I let it sit in the fridge overnight. Using boba tea straws or milkshake straws, I cut small level pieces of straw flush with the surface of the cake, and all of the straws are going into the grave cake. I cut 6 straws. This is going to be the support system for the tombstone. I put some fresh buttercream to make sure everything was nice and glued together. Using a spatula, I lifted up my tombstone cake and placed it onto the grave cake. To make dirt, I crushed up some Oreos in a bag using a heavy rolling pin. Don't worry about the filling. If you crush the Oreos good enough, it looks just like dirt and you don't see much white. And now we're going to make edible moss. To make the moss, I used vanilla wafers, crushed them up, and added green food coloring mixed with some vodka to make it mix well. When you mix it, it becomes kind of like a dough. Then I broke the dough up into pieces and I baked it in the oven on 275 until it was completely dried out. Then using the food processor, I ground up the dried up dough. This might seem like a crazy process, but it ends up looking a lot like moss and it tastes delicious. After placing this tombstone, I'm now ready to cover this baby in some yummy Oreo dirt and topping it off with some moss detailing. Now we're all done with our tombstone and grave cake. Now for the coffin! I baked a blood velvet cake, which is just a red velvet cake with extra food coloring. I cut out 2 layers of cake, from one sheet cake. I used cream cheese frosting to fill and crumb coat this cake. You can't have red velvet cake without cream cheese frosting. Then I used chocolate frosting to do a final layer on this cake, so if any buttercream shows through, it'll be brown. I rolled out some Madame Lulu chocolate fondant to create the wooden texture. I used my favorite modeling tool to hand draw wooden texture into the fondant. I like to freehand wooden texture. It takes a bit longer, but looks so much better to me than using impression mats. You can definitely use impression mats though if you want to. Then I paneled the fondant onto the cake using a razor blade and fondant smoothers, making sure to cut each edge so that it looks sharp like wood nailed together. I used the same method to create the top of the coffin, but I paneled the fondant onto the cardboard. I had already covered the base of the coffin lid in black fondant, just in case it showed. I used my airbrush to coat the top of the coffin in black so that it looks like a hollow coffin with a lid on it. To create a weathered look on the coffin, I used white edible paint and brushed it against the grain of the wood to bring out the hand modeling that I did. Now it's time to make the graveyard, fence, and gate cookies. To make our creepy graveyard gate and fence cookies, I started with a basic royal icing recipe and colored it with black food coloring. To make the wrought iron, I decided to do royal icing transfers. These are just royal icing that you pipe on a slick surface like an acrylic sheet, let it dry, then peel it off and place it onto your cookie. I used the templates for this video, an acrylic stencil sheet taped over it. Using a round 6 tip and a round 4 tip, I piped the design onto the stencil paper. I let this dry overnight until it was completely dried out. To make the cookies, I started with a rolled sugar cookie dough, and using the templates for this video, I cut out the gate in 2 fences. I baked the cookies and covered them with a layer of yummy marshmallow fondant. You can totally flood these cookies with royal icing if you prefer. You can also cover with a layer of modeling chocolate, which would be really yummy too. I love the taste of marshmallow fondant. I think it's really yummy on sugar cookies, and it gave me a nice flat surface to work on. So I went ahead and used fondant, but use whatever you want. Using edible dust and a fluffy brush, I created a foggy looking background onto the cookies. I used white royal icing piped onto the back of our dried transfers to glue the gates to the cookies. After gluing, I brushed the gate with a little bit of edible pearl luster dust to bring out the wrought iron. Now our gate cookies are done and they look amazing. Now it's time to make our creepy zombie rice cereal treat hand. To make the zombie hand, I whipped up a basic batch of rice cereal treats and formed them into a blob that I can carve from. I let this set until it was completely cool and hard. Then, using a photo reference and my own hand as a reference, I just started carving a hand shape. After carving a bit, I decided the rice cereal treat needed to be a little bit stronger. So I coated it in a layer of white chocolate, and I let that set. Then it was stronger and I could carve from it. After a while, it was hard to carve without it having a base, so I glued it to a small wooden disc with some white chocolate. This made it way easier to hold and to carve. I added the extended fingers on last so they wouldn't break off. After I was happy with my hand shape, I painted the whole hand red with some edible red dust mixed with vodka. I added a little bit of shading with some eggplant colored dust. To make the zombie skin, I used fondant and mixed colors until I got a light grayish green. I rolled that out really thin and placed it onto the hand in small torn bits to mimic decaying torn zombie skin. I used a little darker green dust to add some dimension to the green skin. To bring everything together, I used white edible food coloring to lighten the skin and the blood a bit. I finished off the bottom of the hand with a little bit of frosting, some of my Oreo dirt, and a little bit of moss. The creepy hand is done. Now we're going to make our scary licorice tree centerpiece. The licorice tree was a little bit of an undertaking, but what a cool centerpiece to impress your friends at Halloween. I went ahead and created my base using a wooden disc, threaded rod, and copper wire to create the branches. To connect everything together, I used hot glue and tape. Next, I used foil and hot glue to create the bulk of the tree. Instead of using foil, you could definitely use rice cereal treat. I covered the tree in chocolate melts using a paintbrush. This took a few layers, letting it cool in between before it was thick enough to completely cover up the foil. I purchased some grape licorice online, but I would not recommend this brand. It was supposed to be dark purple, but turned out light gray. I would use regular black licorice if I was to do this again. I had some red Twizzlers on hand just in case, but I didn't end up using them. I just ended up eating them. Using a heat gun, you can also use a hairdryer. I heated the chocolate and attached the licorice in twirling strips around the tree. To get it to set, I wrapped the licorice in melted chocolate with plastic wrap and let it cool before going on to the next layer. After a while, I got tired of attaching all the licorice to the tree, so I filled in all the extra bits with some of my chocolate fondant, and then I made the lines with my favorite modeling tool. I think the combo of the two different textures turned out really cool. Since I want the tree to have a consistent look, I used a mixture of eggplant edible dust and black edible dust mixed with vodka and painted the whole tree a dark purpley black. To make the swirling bark pop, I brought it out with a little bit of gold luster dust and a fluffy brush. I just dry dusted the gold and this worked really well. I painted the base of the tree with a dark edible dust mixture, then filled in between the roots with frosting and topped it off with the Oreo dirt and edible moss. How cool does this tree look? This tree is obviously not meant to be eaten. It's just a really cool centerpiece that you can make yourself, and you can tell your friends that it's been decorated with edible materials. Look at this table all placed together. It looks amazing. If you guys haven't already, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of really good videos coming out and I don't want you to miss them.